George Carlin said, think of how stupid the average person is, and realize half of them are stupider than that. What real-life example have you seen that validates this view? The fact Florida had to tell people not to shoot at the hurricane. Even better, the fact that NOAA even has to have a section on their site explaining why using nuclear weapons against hurricanes is far worse than the worst idea you can possibly imagine. One of my nieces had a cold as a toddler and was breathing through her mouth. My ex-Bill flipped out because he didn't want her to get carbon monoxide poisoning from breathing through her mouth instead of her nose the normal way. Pensive face. I read things like this and start asking myself, why would anyone think this? How would this even work? And then I realize this is the kind of stupid I don't want to understand. On the 11th of September, the general manager called his daughter, who was attending ASU, to wake her up and make sure she saw what was going on. The customer service manager said, "It won't be on her TV yet. Arizona is 2 hours behind us. Why didn't Australia warn us about 9/11? After all, they are several hours ahead." Just scroll down a web page or Facebook feed and have a look at the ads. Things like only 2% can solve this puzzle. Shit like that. Those ads get posted so much because they actually work on a lot of people. My fav, if those see what your fandom/whatever name is based on your date of birth/hometown/first and last letters of your mom's maiden name/etc. Things. Like you have a chart and people post their results, and it's a gold mine for anyone looking for the answers to those pesky security questions. Lamau. I worked at Little Caesars and we were proofing the dough for pizza. My boss said at 7 p.m. that the dough needed to rise for 12 hours and took out her calculator to do the math. So I said, that's gonna be 7 a.m. Then she said the dough will expire in 48 hours and started doing the math again. I told her it would expire 2 days from now and she said that's kinda weird how that works out, huh? I quit shortly after that. In the 80s, A&W attempted to compete with McDonald's Quarter Pounder burger by selling a third pounder for the same price. The operation failed tremendously, with virtually no one buying the burger. When they surveyed customers for an explanation, the majority of customers responded that they didn't want to pay the same price for less meat. Their customers genuinely believed that 1/3 was less than 1/4 and refused to try the new A&W burger because of it. And #X200B. Edit, obligatory fuck everyone who says rip my inbox, I hate that shit. Sounds like they had beef with fractions. In grade 10 we had a science test and the teacher gave 1 point for putting a date on the paper and 1 point for your name on the paper, and then there were 98 points for the rest of the test. A guy sitting in front of me got 0.5 didn't write the date and only wrote his first name. That's fucking hilarious. Reminds me of the time my classmate copied the test answers of my other smarter classmate in 2nd grade. He got caught because he copied the name too. I teach 6th grade. One time a parent came to me after trying to help their child with math homework and asked, what number is X worth? It feels like it changes with every problem. There is a considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists. Yosemite Park Ranger on why it's hard to design a bear-proof garbage can. I used to work in Banff National Park. One day at the end of the tour I was driving some guests back to their hotel and a woman was adamant that Banff was clearly a very dangerous place to visit since we just let wild animals run around everywhere. They should be in cages. Had to fight the urge to throw her off the bus pretty hard. Some other gems that came up in the past include a guest insisting he needed to change money they got in BC to Alberta currency, not a real thing. A man arrived very irate that the entire Trans-Canada Highway was not lit with proper street lamps every 100 yards. That would be a stunning waste of energy, not to mention probably cost more than our national budget. And your car has lights on it. More than a few have grossly underestimated the distances involved in a country like Canada. No, you cannot drive from Calgary to Toronto and back in the same day for lunch at the CN Tower. I worked at a bank. Mobile depositing had just became a thing. We received a picture of someone's cash for deposit. Yay. See bro, just wait like 2 hours and take another photo of the same cash and deposit it again. And again and again. Whoa. Instant money. Yeah bro, instant money. Fuck, we're gonna be so rich off this $84. A woman I used to work with who insisted that any animal could reproduce with any other animal. She believed that sperm from any animal was the same and that DNA was irrelevant. She believed this because she once saw some sickly, possibly deformed puppies and decided that they must have been half dog and half rat. If she ever saw a centaur, she'd probably be buying lots of horse sperm.